Okay, we're going. Susie,
Live.
thanks for doing this.
Yeah, you're
Tell me
welcome.
about Western Roots. What you guys do, who you are.
Western Roots Country Dancing. We are based in Bozeman, Montana, and we do all things country dance. We teach line dancing, country swing, waltz, two-step. You come with it, at us with it. We teach it. We also do private events. That's a big thing. Opening up dance spaces publicly and then doing private events all over the state of Montana and beyond. Is that what you wanted?
Yeah, well, I mean, what's your guys' regular schedule that you guys have going right now? You're
Okay.
on the Wednesday.
Sure. Yeah. So once a month, we start our series classes. So you can do beginner swing or swing 201, which is more of a honky tonk moves class. And those start every Monday. We're actually starting one tonight for a beginner swing, and it's a 4 week session. So you get a deep immersion of the fundamentals of country swing. And then the 201 classes, once you have those fundamentals down, then you can add some fancier moves on. So that's Mondays. Tuesdays, we also do a two-step class and a line dance class at the City of Bozeman Dance Studio, which is in the community building on Bridger Drive. And then Wednesdays, we are at the Westerner every Wednesday. This Wednesday and August 20th, also, we're at the River House.
Oh, okay.
So we partner up with the River House every summer and do Dancing by the River. So they open up their big tent. It's basically like going to a wedding without the drama. So,
Oh, cool.
yeah, no couple, no nuptials, just a good time. Dance floor, we DJ it, and then the bar down there is open. They do a little barbecue special down below. You can also eat upstairs.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so those are super fun.
So the Wednesday one at the Westerner has a band every Wednesday.
Yep, a live band every Wednesday. We teach from 7 to 8. So we'll teach some sort of country, whether it's country swing, two-step, waltz, cha-cha, teach something that'll go along with the live bands. And then our bands are coming from mostly local bands. In October, I know we're going to have Bo de Pena, so we're hoping to get some more out-of-town bands that are passing through just because our locals get really busy, especially in the summer with their wedding gigs.
Yeah, and then do you guys have anything else on the regular schedule, weekly?
Yep. Now we're on to Thursday is Bourbon, Boots and Bourbons. We do line dance teaches and walkthroughs on Thursdays at Bourbon off of Aspen Street there in Bozeman. And that's just a much more casual line dancing night. So a great one for like gals night out or just group friends. We of course have swing dancing on that night as well. Your teaches will be line dancing. And then for the more common dances, we'll do a little walkthrough just in case there's a new crowd who doesn't know the dance. I say line dancing is always more fun when everyone knows the dance.
Friday.
And then Friday. Friday is our official day off from regular events. We do not have a regular scheduled Friday. So you can usually find the crew either at Old Saloon or the Westerner or sleeping.
And then do you guys have regular Saturday?
And then Saturday, we're at Bourbon again for the Bourbon Saturday nights for Justice Entertainment. So those, we just teach the two dances in the beginning from 8 to 9, and then the rest is open dance.
I did not realize you guys were doing so much regularly.
Yeah.
If somebody's never danced before, what's the best place for them to start if they're local?
So if you're a local and you've never danced before, I would say that depends on your goal. So if your goal is just to go out and have a good time dancing, highly recommend the Westerner. Because you're going to get like a one lesson, you'll have an idea of what to do, what's going on, and it's just a fun night out. If you actually want to learn, it's that 101 class that starts Monday nights, because we're not just going to throw you in and start teaching you fancy moves without the ideas behind them. So you're going to learn the how, the why, the when. You'll get everything down on that. So for new dancers, that 101 class is crucial.
And then if it's somebody's from out of town, can they pretty much stop into any one of those? Is there any of them that are out of their league or they're...
Oh, absolutely. Okay. Nothing is out of anybody's league. Like that's, I would say, something we stand for. It doesn't matter how experienced or unexperienced you are. You should be welcome on the dance floor.
Yeah.
So we're going to teach something. If you're an expert, you might feel a little bored in the beginning, but we always roll in some more expert moves towards the end of our lessons. And if you're from out of town, those beginner sessions on Monday, they're a 4-week session. So that probably wouldn't work for most out of towners. Everything else is a drop-in. You can order tickets online if you don't want to deal with the door when we get there, and then you can just scan your way through, but it's not required. You can always drop in at the door.
Right on. And then you guys do a lot of weddings and private events and that kind of stuff?
Yep. Weddings, family reunions, corporate events, benefits, the whole 9 yards. We do a lot of local support. We donate packages to Big Brothers Big Sisters, Prospera, a few other organizations in town. So we just try to stay involved in the community that way. And anytime we can help one of their fundraising events pop off, we certainly hit the floor.
Very cool. So the wedding or something like that, you guys are, you're not just teaching a couple like their couples dance. You're coming to the wedding and kind of hosting a little bit of a, what would you call it? A dance?
A dance.
Yeah. Okay.
And a dance lesson. So when it comes to weddings, we certainly do the first dance coach. So we'll take a couple on for 6 weeks or so and really get them comfortable with each other and on the dance floor and with their new song so that they feel confident getting the floor. And we're really pay close attention to those photogenic moments because you might have a great dance, but if you learn some really awkward moves, they just photograph poorly. So we make sure that those dancers get those down. And then when we go to event, our goal is spreading collaborative joy. And what I mean by that is we try to involve as many people in the party as possible doing the same thing. And even if people think they're not into dancing or not into line dancing, we make it fun so that everyone finds a place. We find out in Montana, they're either out of town or weddings where no one's been here before, or half the family lives in Montana and the other half lives in San Diego. So there's a cultural rift to cross, and dancing is the platform that gets that done.
Yeah, it's usually fun. I would say country dancing is pretty approachable for almost anyone. And most of the people that have a relative idea what they're doing are pretty open to help people that don't.
Yeah.
That's been my experience.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Is almost every country bar I've gone to. If you're stuck or if you see a move you like, people are more than willing to show you how it's done. Or if you don't know how to do it, leads and follows are usually very willing to walk you through. And it's a fairly safe dance. We like to stick close to the culture of the country behind it because, salsa is much more intimate style, which would set some people off. But country has space built into it so no one feels invaded.
Hi, folks. Quick note from me. If you don't already know, the goal of Mountain Mule Media is to build real connection between Montana's businesses and the people they serve. If this episode or any other has given you something worth thinking about, smiling at, or passing along, I've got a small ask. Share it with a friend, text it to someone, post it in your story. That one simple action helps these businesses get seen, grow, and thrive, and it helps this show keep going. Thank you for supporting these Montana businesses. Now back to the show. Fun fact you reminded me of when I was thinking of the weddings. I'd wanted to learn how to country dance or swing dance for years. I was on the West Coast before I lived here, and I finally convinced my sister and brother-in-law to go. They weren't married at the time. So we went, and I think it was West Coast swing, so it was a little bit different. Did it once, and then my sister and brother-in-law hired the instructor to help them do their wedding dance.
Fine.
And then proceeded to never go to the dance lessons again and kind of just left me hanging.
Great.
So I didn't officially learn until I moved out here, and I started taking lessons from you.
I remember.
I don't know if anyone could realize how bad I was. Like anyone can figure it out.
You were just a beginner.
I was clunky.
But not anymore.
Yeah.
And it took a while. But I think that's it, is all of us have had either a negative dance experience or no dance experience. And so a lot of our first lessons are just getting through the cobwebs, right? Like we're just trying to get people comfortable on the dance floor. And that's how we structure a lot of our series. And then even our lessons, like I said, a lot of the experts will be like, oh, this is really boring. But what we're really doing is catering to anyone who this might be a really big deal for them to step on the dance floor, especially coming without a partner. We don't require partners at any of our events. And so that can be scary too, is I'm going to show up to this dance event without a partner and I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm prepared to be embarrassed. And we do everything we can to make sure you leave smiling and not embarrassed.
Yeah, it's uncomfortable, but once you get it, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. And I really like it too. Like I know you came in alone at first, but like how quickly that goes away.
Yeah.
Like that's one thing in a beginner dance class. We'll finish off the class being like, you now have 30 other people who just learned to dance as well. Like you now have 30 people that you could dance with, and you've probably danced with them in the class or at least have seen them. So instant friends.
Yeah, for sure.
Or network at least.
How did this start? You've been dancing your whole life from what I remember, if I'm remembering right.
Yeah.
So where did that start?
That's a good memory. So I have been dancing my whole life. Both my parents are very musical and they both love dancing, but neither of them are professional in any stretch of the imagination. We're from Southwest Colorado, where dancing is just something that comes with the territory. Lots of 4-H dances, benefit dances. It's just kind of what you do. So I learned to dance two-step on my dad's cowboy boots in the living room. And then danced a bit through high school and whatnot, and then kind of dropped out of it. So I was out for a little while and then came back to it when I got to Bozeman. By then there was the MSU had a really active swing group, and that was feeding the bar scene. So once those kids got old enough, they would hit mixers. And we had one of the most vibrant dance scenes in Montana and really in the Northwest. We'd have visitors from other towns coming and saying, it's so crazy at mixers. You guys ask everyone to dance. And they were saying, there's other bars where we are. You can't just like break up a couple and ask to dance. But mixers was super welcoming in that. And I think that came from MSU Swing Group. But in 2019, the owners of mixers decided to do a new project on that block. So that got demoed and shut down. And in the same year, the MSU Swing SOB barn also got condemned. So within a couple months, we suddenly had no formal place to dance in Bozeman. And I'd been volunteer teaching at mixers for quite a while. And so I randomly had people asking me, like, what are we going to do? What are you going to do? And I was like, I don't know, but I'll figure it out. For whatever reason, I was like, I'll figure it out. And I did. And that's when I went out and I found Starlight Studios, which was opening up that fall.
Yep.
And that's where you found us.
Yeah.
So we rented space there. And at first I was just doing it out of my pocket just to make sure everyone had a place to dance. And then I figured, why not just teach lessons to cover rent? And that was the beginning. Then we started getting requests for events, and what turned out to be just a community project turned into a full-fledged business.
It's would you say the dance scene's very revived in Bozeman or Southwest Montana?
Yeah, we've definitely got quite the scene now. Like Bozeman, if you're coming to Montana to dance and you want a dance scene, it's Bozeman.
Yeah.
And the players in that have done a lot of work to make sure that it stays in the forefront. And so that's an important thing to remember, I think, as a dancer or just someone, even if you don't dance and you like to go and watch dancing or you enjoy live music or dancing, is that the venues that are holding that space for you. Typically, a dance night doesn't make as much bar money as, say, like a concert would, or just having an open floor without dancing.
Yeah.
So that's why we saw a lot of our dance floors go away, is because the bar owners were holding the tab. So anywhere you go out where there's holding dancing, grab dinner, grab a Coke, even if you don't drink, do something to support that business, and even spread the word, grab some merch, whatever you got to do. But it is important to acknowledge that if those venues decide dancing doesn't fit their business plan anymore, we're back to finding studios and hole-in-the-wall buildings, and that's where we'll be again.
Yeah, it's cool in the last couple of years, just the amount of newer places that have opened up and have space. And it seems like a lot more thought goes into places when they're opening now around the dance scene and the music scene.
Yeah, it's so nice. And that's really the core of it. Like, culture is music and dancing. And so when we start to cut out our dancing and music, like, where's the culture? We're really starting to sink into some weird AI world. But if we hold on to that, and then that allows the musicians to build. I've also seen like an uptick of bands developing around Bozeman, and I think that's just all the venues playing live music, and people, even at the weddings we work, we get a lot of people hiring locals as solos or bands. Not everyone wants a DJ, which DJs have their place, and we certainly love those, especially for our line dancing nights. But we all work together. We're all a unit.
I think you said at one point you were having, because I'll usually ask any business owner if there's anything anyone can do to help. You said you were having like trouble with bands some nights. Is there a lack of bands around here, or is it?
In the summer, it can be really hard to find one that's available or isn't exhausted, because a lot of the bands around here, they play Friday, Saturday, and they'll be playing out of towns. So, just if anyone has a band that wants to play on a Wednesday, Western Roots is booking the bands at the Westerner on Wednesdays. And we obviously needed a dancing band. But, anyone coming through town will absolutely pick you up and throw you on the stage.
It's always feast or famine in Bozeman, because it's so busy and then it's so slow. So everyone's booked, and then everyone's available.
And then everyone's available. That's it. So that's another thing too, is as we all grow and we keep these open venues and these regular events, is to kind of hopefully minimize the drops and the highs. Like, highs and lows are fun if you can take the lows to rest. But I found in Bozeman, a lot of people go into the low and they start their second job or a second side hustle. So no one's really resting in that. Yeah. But if we can all get regular stuff rolling, that's when it allows people time to breathe and develop and create new content, stuff like that.
Yeah, it's been like I don't know if it's a challenge, but it's part of being here, is like riding the waves of being so busy. It's insane. And then you're wondering what the hell to do with yourself for a few months.
Yeah.
That's sort of how it goes.
Or those couple months before it kicks up where you're wondering if your business is still valid, and then the phone just won't stop ringing.
Exactly.
And that is very much living in Bozeman for sure. I run a landscape company, and I know a bunch of us in that field are in the same boat. It's like, if you want landscaping done right now, good luck.
Yeah. What about instructors? Do you have instructors? Are you looking for instructors? Do you have too many instructors?
There's no such thing as too many instructors.
Okay.
And the nice thing with our instructors is they're not required to work. There's no amount of time they have to work. So if they can only give us 1 or 2 days a month, that's totally fine. Everyone does it as a side hustle. We have teachers on there. We have professors. We have counselors of all kinds of walks of life that are instructing for us. And you don't have to be an expert dancer. We can teach just about anyone how to dance and how to teach. So, like, sometimes the best dancer might not be our best instructor.
Yeah.
But kind of.
And it can be, I imagine it's a fun occupation too, if you get a social life with it too, and see people and help people learn how to dance.
Absolutely. It's very rewarding to, watch a group of people learn how to dance or walk in nervous and leave excited. So I found it certainly is a good compliment. We have a lot of independent business owners also who, as you know, we spend a lot of time by ourselves.
Yeah.
Like a lot of time by ourselves. And so that can be really nice too, is you're plugged into at least around people and a little bit of a social life. It kind of forces you to stay out in the community.
Yeah. I kind of just asked you and you answered what's your favorite part about owning the business or being an instructor?
Yeah. Watching people go from the nerves and the scared, or watching, especially like couples. I really love teaching couples and watching them connect.
Yeah.
We've had so many people who, what they can't say in words comes out on the dance floor. And that's always really magical to watch and try to stay out of the way to allow it happen. But yeah, like that phrase, collaborative joy, is one of my favorite phrases, because it really is, as a business owner and a dance instructor, the Westerner, a lot of times I don't even leave the door. I'll just be taking tickets, but watching my instructors in their element, and then watching the people around them learn and be entertained. And then the bands are up there doing what they love to do. It's just like this whole collective unit of everyone giving their best back. So the bartender is up being the exact person he needs to be and wants to be. And then the people are there just free dancing. There's no structure. There's no agenda. I mean, there's structure built in to keep everyone safe. But other than that, and that is a really magical thing to watch. It's really beautiful to be able to step to the side and watch it happen, and knowing that I had very little to do with it. I mean, I set up the pieces, and then people do what people do.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, I think of it like a language too. Sometimes it's dancing, like a universal language.
Yeah.
Because you could not speak the same fluent language as someone, but you could dance and connect and find a beat together, and it's kind of a cool concept.
Yeah, I really love that.
Yeah.
Because it certainly is. You don't have to speak the same language. You don't have to be from the same generation. It's really nice when like the young folks end up dancing with the elderly. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, we're moving to the same song. And it doesn't really matter. And that is one challenge that's in Bozeman. As we get more and more Spanish speaking workers up here, I'm noticing there's not much for them to do. They came to our fair dance, and that was really cool to see them stepping out into the community, where I feel like that's new for this year. They kind of were keeping themselves for a while. So I think as business owners, entertainment, that's a challenge for us to see how can we make our community more inclusive for everybody?
Yeah, for sure. Is there anything that is negative about the industry, or you don't like, or you wish was different, or not that we have to focus on it, but just out of curiosity?
Some dirt. Are we looking for some tea?
No, just like as
I get what you're saying. Yeah. I'm teasing you, Tim. The negatives are, like you said, as a dance instructor, it comes with a social life, but then your social life becomes your work. Yeah. So, for me, anytime I go out, I am not just Susie. I'm Susie of Western Roots. And so sometimes I can shake that or get to the just whatever, but you still have to watch your reputation and watch the company, and people are always, asking for business cards. So anytime people find out what you do, you're representing your company. Yeah. And so getting those opportunities to get a break while in your town are a little hard.
Yeah, I was going to say it's probably fun to go somewhere out of state and just show up as somebody who's there to dance and do nothing else.
Yeah, no, I did that. Went back home to Colorado a few months ago. Actually, it was 1 month ago, but it feels like a long time. And I took lessons down there with one of their instructors, and it was just so nice to not even say that I'm a dance instructor or own a dance company or anything, and just be a part of the scene. That was really fun.
Yeah, I was I guess it was last year, I was at a wedding at the East Coast, and it's so funny. Just like being the only one at the entire wedding that even has a relative idea of how to dance. It's just like, oh, this is, it's so common here that you get, I don't know, maybe you take it for granted, but a lot of people know how to dance here.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, we're lucky for that. And that is a really cool thing about country dancing. I don't know how much of the history you've dove into, but there was very formal dances and they were kept in the upper classes. So the upper classes could have their private instructors and learn to dance. And learning to dance was a way to break into the upper class. Yeah. So they would like release little booklets. This is like back in the day, where it was like a little booklet you could read to learn how to dance. And
like
they
the waltz and stuff. That was like, I mean,
and there was quadrilles, and remember like the group dances they were doing. And so people would like learn those. That way they could be included in these upper class events. And country just took it and did whatever they wanted. So it was like, that's where country dancing came from, was the country folks taking what they saw. You know, it's kind of a game of telephone. The instructor says this, then writes a book, then it comes down, then someone else shows you. And pretty soon you're doing some variation of what the original dance was. But country just embraced it and made it their own. So like a country waltz is much different than like a classical waltz or a Viennese waltz. Looks much different, but it's still a waltz. Like it still holds the beat. And that's kind of the neat thing in country dancing is no matter, you'll go different spots in the country. Like South Texas has a different style of country dancing than we do. Oklahoma dance is different. Nevada dance is different. And it's all about who is teaching there and what their cultural background was.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so it's kind of nice.
Yeah. I don't know why I'm backing all the way up, but when you're saying like learning to dance on your father's boots,
yeah,
I don't think there's anything more adorable than like 2 5-year-old kids that are really proficient swing dancers.
Oh yeah,
this is the coolest thing to watch.
It is so cool.
Yeah,
it's so neat, and that's something that I'm hoping will come around. We've been having the dances at the fairs. We had them early summer before the fair, and that was our first quasi-successful attempt at having a multi-generational dance where it really was full families. And that's something that I'm imposing on Bozeman because I had it when I grew up and I thought it was really special. Like we would have a community dance and the entire family came, like grandma, grandpa, little kids, mom, dad, everybody. And teenagers danced with their crushes in front of their parents and danced with their dad. And that was just really cool. And little kids would dance. Like I remember, dancing with like boys when I was like 8 years old.
Yeah.
And, you know, we were doing really cool moves, I'm sure. But it was just cool because it was so accepted. Like, it was just like, this is what we do. And I hope that we can have enough spaces to open that up in Bozeman.
Yeah, what a cool way to connect with your family from like all the generations and do something that you can all do.
Right. Do something together. And like you said, when little kids figure it out. And then take the scary out while you're little.
Yeah, yeah.
Because then as soon as you have crushes on everyone, it gets real scary.
And then you'll have so much swag because you know how to dance.
Right. Yeah. You'll never be lonely.
Yeah. Very cool. Anything else anyone should know about Western Roots? Where they can find you, westernroots.com?
It's actually mtcountrydance.com.
mtcountrydance.com.
I know, keep things confusing. So MT like Montana, countrydance.com. But if you Google Western Roots, we come right up. And then social media, we're Western Roots Country Dancing. We have Facebook and Instagram. So whatever floats your boat the most way.
Cool.
And phone number is all over the internet and it goes straight to me. So I'd be happy to have a chat about dancing with anybody. Other than that, just the Westerner Bourbon. We're there every single week and just reach out to us, find us.
And do you guys keep that schedule on your website or Instagram or anything?
Yep. There's a tab on our website called Upcoming Events, and that's a great one to toggle through for public events. And then there's also a tab called Lessons. So that'll make sure you don't miss any of those.
Cool. I'll put links to everything in the descriptions. And
that'd be great.
Yeah. Thanks for doing this.
Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome. Thanks,
Sweet.
Tim.
Thanks, Susie. Thanks for listening, folks. You can find the full blog post for every episode along with key takeaways and links at mountain-mule.com. If you haven't yet, consider following the show. That one small action helps these Montana businesses get seen, grow, and thrive, and it helps this podcast keep going too. If you know a business that would be a good fit for the show, we'd love to hear from you. Just reach out through the website or social. Thank you for supporting these Montana businesses. See you on the next show.